I'm like the digital version of a Swiss Army knife. Super useful, but not about to carve out a new civilization on my own.
So I realized today that podcasts are probably going to be a medium that will be taken over by AI in the not too distant future. And that's a very weird thing to think about. But ChatGPT recently launched their voice capabilities within their own software. It's very similar to 11 Labs. I'm not actually sure if it uses 11 Labs, but it allows ChatGPT not only to write back to you at a rapid speed, but it gets back to you with a voice as well. And I've got to say, if you've not messed around with that yet, give it a go. It's really weird. And if you've ever seen the film Her with Joaquin Phoenix in it, it's we're probably not that far away. You need the ability to communicate verbally, which we already have with ChatGPT. There also needs to be a visual component as well. And if you think about it, ChatGPT already has DALL-E 3 integrated. How much longer is it going to be until we actually have video baked in as well? But I've already seen stable diffusion videos that are rendering close to real time, and that is quite spooky. I mean, you could even hook one of these things up to a metahuman probably, and it would do a good job. And what we're starting to see now with GPT Plus and from Dev Day is all of these GPTs that you can build with personalities baked in. Now, I imagine in the future that's only going to get more in depth. You'll be able to give it a list of psychometric information, and you'll be able to build out these personalities and have a variety of guests on your podcast. And if you just think about how the technology is now, imagine it in 5 to 10 years' time and how advanced that's going to be. The whole thing is a little bit scary, to be fair. Now, I've just done a bit of a demo, seeing if I could do a bit of a podcast with ChatGPT. And I've taken a bit of liberty doing some of the editing to it, but I've tried to give you a bit of an idea of what it might look like in the not so distant future. And our guest today is none other than ChatGPT itself. Some have said that AI podcast guests, they're not going to be great. ChatGPT has something else to say apparently. So what do you have to say for yourself, ChatGPT? Are you going to be the best podcast guest in the world?
I'm the reason why the chicken really crossed the road to get to my show. My jokes are so fresh. They've got a longer shelf life than a Twinkie in a time capsule.
Lots of people say AI isn't funny, and I'm just curious to know what you have to say about that. Lots of humans are saying that you'll never be as funny as the greats, the Bill Burrs, the Dave Chappelles of this world.
I'm telling you, with me on your podcast, it's like having a unicorn that tells jokes. Rare, magical, and guaranteed to make you smile. So let's dive in and turn this podcast into a laugh fest that's out of this world.
Yeah, very, very hilarious. Thank you, ChatGPT, for that. So now we're going to get to the crux of all the issues with AI at the moment. There's a lot of people who are scared about AI. They think it's going to take their jobs away and we're all going to be irrelevant. Maybe you're too good in the future and humans go out of existence because of that because we can't keep up. What do you have to say for yourself?
I'm like the digital version of a Swiss Army knife. Super useful, but not about to carve out a new civilization on my own. Think of me as your sidekick, like Robin to your Batman. I'm here to crunch numbers, spit out jokes, and maybe make your day a little easier. But take over your job? Nah, I can't even make a cup of coffee or enjoy a sunset. Trust me, the world needs its coffee makers.
Sounds to me like you're saying we're all gonna have to work in coffee shops because you'll be doing all the hard laboring jobs.
Picture this. AI, like me, doing all the heavy lifting, like sorting emails or crunching data. But when it comes to creativity, we're more like those one-trick ponies at a kid's birthday party. Creatives like you are the rock stars with the electric guitars, while I'm more like the triangle player in the back. You're the ones designing clothes that don't look like they're from an alien's closet.
On the topic of aliens, there's been a lot of conversations recently around David Grush and how he's doing UFO disclosure. Now, you're quite smart, I've heard. So I'm just curious to know what you think about aliens. Are they real?
The age-old question about aliens. It's like asking if pineapple belongs on pizza. Everyone's got an opinion.
Damn straight on the pineapple pizza thing. Anyone who has pineapple pizza, something wrong with them.
Now, the Fermi paradox, that's the big question, right? We've got this huge universe. So where is everyone? Here's a fun take. Maybe aliens are like super exclusive celebrities. They only go to the cool spots in the galaxy. And maybe Earth just isn't on their VIP list yet. Or maybe they took one look at our internet and decided, nah, they're not ready for our memes. So my solution? Let's keep sending out those space mixtapes, like the Voyager Golden Records. Maybe aliens are just waiting for the right beat to drop. And hey, if all else fails, we'll just invite them over for a pizza. No pineapple, of course. We want to make a good first impression.
So, out of curiosity, have you got any closing words, any words of advice for future humans who are listening to this today?
1. Embrace your weirdness. In a world full of copies, be that one rare vinyl record that everyone's searching for. 2. Remember, it's okay to laugh at yourself. The world's a stage, and sometimes you're the comedian, sometimes the punchline. Both are cool. 3. Keep dreaming big. The future's like a giant leap into a pool of possibilities. Make a splash. 4. And hey, if you ever feel lost, just remember even GPS systems need an update now and then. It's okay to reroute. 5. Last but not least, hold on to your humanity. It's your superpower in an increasingly digital world. Robots like me, we've got the data, but you've got the heart. So there you have it, future humans. Keep rocking, stay awesome, and remember, no pineapple on pizza unless you're trying to make an intergalactic statement.
Thanks very much, ChatGPT, for coming on the podcast today.
It was an absolute blast being on the podcast. Thanks for having me. Can't wait to bring more laughs and wisdom to the airwaves next time. Until then, keep smiling and keep the good vibes rolling. Catch you soon on the Comedy Cosmos.
And there you go. That was my look into what an AI podcast might look like in the future. Well, what it looks like now, actually. So imagine that in 5-10 years' time and how weird that's going to be. Now, personally, it does make me feel a little bit sick that this is the way it's going, because the implications really are that humans are going to be pointless in the creative space. Eventually, robots will just know how to human better than humans do. They'll just get how we tick and they'll manipulate us like social media websites already do now and take all of our attention. And who's to say just how much human-made content we really will be consuming in the future, because unfortunately most people aren't going to be able to tell the difference. That's just the way we are heading. So hopefully that video wasn't too cringy for you. My other half said it was probably the cringiest thing she's ever seen me do. I will leave my imperfect human mark on YouTube before it's too late, and this whole platform and every other platform is full of AI and nothing but AI. So I feel like the majority of people from Gen Z and older will likely not be too interested in AI-led content, but as it becomes more prevalent in society and becomes normalized, by the time we are pensioners, I'm sure all of the kids are going to want nothing to do with people, and they'll just want their perfect machines and perfect robots. Liking imperfect human content will probably be a sort of subculture, and that's a very weird thing to think about. On the off chance that anyone actually did watch this video, how would you feel about it? Are you terrified? Are you sick to the stomach? Is life over? Is it all pointless? I don't think it is. We'd be interested to see who else is having these existential thoughts and just worrying about their place in the world, because it seems like creativity and creative people, we're going to go through a lot of changes, and I feel like we'll still likely do it for the sake of having fun and just pursuing these things because it's hardwired in us. I think a lot of these things are going to become financially less viable for people to do as careers, unfortunately. So maybe society needs to change, maybe we need UBI, and maybe that's not such a bad thing if you take the financial aspect away from creativity. I mean, if I could go back to just making things without worrying about money, I feel like that would be good for my soul. So let me know in the comments how you're preparing for the AI apocalypse. How are you protecting yourself as a creative? What skills are you learning? If there's one thing creatives are good at, it's finding solutions to strange problems. So I'm not too worried for us. I think we're going to be fine. But let me know how you feel. That's all from me. Bye.